Get it lane! Get it lane! Get it lane! Hey, get it lane! Get it lane!
Bro, let me record GMSD here.
Discipline. It's called discipline.
Playing football like this one.
If you don't be out, something wrong. Be out. It is recorded. If he's scared, something's wrong.
Special team!
Be out, Alabama.
Better hold it too.
Be out, Alabama.
What else is
Me!
Be out, 17.
Yo! Defense! So yo! Special! Yo! Special! We on a half step! Oh, what's that you say? We on a half step! But alright, okay! It's on the queue! It's on the queue! It's on the side! It's on the back! We gonna turn around! Oh, what's that you say? We gonna turn this shit around! Alright, okay! It's on the queue! It's on the queue! It's on the side! It's on the side! It's on the bike! It's on the bike! We gonna halt the stop! We gonna halt the damn stop! Okay, it's on the queue! It's on the side! It's on the side! Hurt that shit out!
Shalom. Shalom. I give all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you sincere hockey pushing his word across four corners of the earth. And this lesson is going to those Greeks were Israelites. As you see, this is from NOLA.com. And this happened on November the 23rd, 2018, as it says, by you classic battle of bands and Greek show. You know, and you see this in those so-called, black people. And it was doing the same stuff back in ancient Greece. That's who, when our people was in captivity on the Roman Empire, when Apostle Paul was sending out those letters, he was writing these people like in that Greek state of mind, Okay, so I guess we go ahead and get
Our scripture.
Yeah.
Alright. This the book of John, chapter 7, and starting at verse 32. It says, the Pharisees heard that the people murmured such things concerning him, and the Pharisees and the chief priests sent officers to take him. Then said Yahushua to them, yet a little while am I with you, and then I go unto him that sent me. Verse 34, ye shall seek me, and shall not find me, and where I am, thither ye cannot come.
Right, so at this time frame, Yahushua is basically telling them, that he was on his way back to the spirit world, to sit on the right-hand side of his Father.
Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles?
God. So those Gentiles that he was going to teach, and that goes to show you that our people knew about the dispersion of the Gentiles were actually Israelites. Okay, and this prophecy, according to the scripture, is actually going into when Yahushua actually came to the Americas, man. Why? Because he had to teach the word to our brothers that were actually from the northern kingdom that became in that Gentile state of mind.
Right. Because when you go into that word Greek, I play it, Salakia, that word Gentile in the Greek.
Strong's G 1672. Hellene.
Right? And it's pronounced Hellene, or Hellenista, right? Goes into that. It says a Greek either by nationality, whether a native of the mainland or of the Greek islands or colonies.
And if I could just add, Elder, when you use the term Helen, all that it's saying is Israelites that did not know that actually they were Israelites. They actually thought they were Greeks,
Yep.
And then just to prove that point, when you use the term Hellenistas, that's basically Israelites that knew they were Greeks. I mean, it's like Israelites that knew that they were Israelites, but they still adopted to that Greek way of life.
Right.
All right. So the Hellenes, they did not know they were Israelites, and the Hellenistas, they actually knew that they were Israelites.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Hence the term. You can actually relate Helen to the Greeks, and you can relate the Hellenistas to the Grecians, man. It's the same format.
I got the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, and for Hellenists, it says Jews who made Greek their tongue and with it often adopted Greek ideas and practices.
Yep. So they were living that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
The same way in today's time, we see a lot of our people who overindulge in the customs of this world,
mm-hmm.
the traditions of this world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same thing we see today. Even with something as simple as being called an American. And living out that American dream, or living out that American way of thinking. Right? Jumping back into the definition, definition 2, in a wider sense, the name embraces all nations, not Jews, that made the language, customs, and learning of the Greeks their own. The primary reference is to a difference of religion and worship.
That's right.
All right. I'm going to jump down. It says a Greek by nationality, whether a native of the mainland, it's repeating the same thing from up above, of the mainland or of the Greek islands or colonies. That's the point.
Yeah, and to prove that point, what was that? It was Helen, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Helen.
Helen. Go to Acts 16:1. And that's going to prove the point with Timotheus' father, because he was actually a Greek. And he was an Israelite, but actually he would fit an example of Helen,
All right. And you want Acts 16?
Yeah, Acts 16:1.
Acts 16:1.
Mm-hmm.
Then came he to Derbe and Lystra, and behold, a certain disciple was there named Timotheus.
So Timotheus, he was actually a disciple, and he was under the tutorship of Apostle Paul. Go ahead.
The son of a certain woman,
right,
which was a Jewess.
Meaning that his mom knew she was an Israelite, all right, and she followed the law, statutes, and commandments according to the law of Moses, which was given to by Yahweh Shem al-Shah. And it actually, Salaki, let me correct myself, it wasn't the law of Moses. It was the law of Yahweh Shem al-Shah, but Moses was that mediator that presented that law.
Mm-hmm. He said, which was a Jewess and believed.
That proves the point. She knew, because she believed. Go ahead.
But his father was a Greek.
Right, but his father was a Greek, so actually he would be an Israelite, okay, but at the same time frame, he would be considered as a Hellene, He did not know that actually, he was an actual Israelite. Why? Because he was following their custom, their way of life.
Hey, bro, keep back in right there and get this verse. Yep. Cause we just mentioned, this really goes back to the curses in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter. Mm-hmm. How we're gonna be scattered across the 4 corners of the earth, and due to that, we're gonna lose our heritage according to biblical prophecy. So that's why you have Israelites still to this day all around the 4 corners of the earth.
Yeah. And if I can just add with that, with Timotheus' mother, she believed in the doctrine of Yahweh Shai. All right, because that's the main important thing. Because that's, if you go through the books of Acts, what were the disciples who later became apostles? What were they teaching? The doctrine of Yahweh Shai. All right, that he was the anointed, that he was risen. And they was preaching to those Israelites that were locked in that Gentile state of mindset.
Okay.
Come jump down back in John 7:35, and the Greek word for dispersed, right?
Strong's G1290. Diaspora. Diaspora.
Diaspora. And it says a scattering, dispersion of Israelites dispersed from among foreign nations of the Christians scattered abroad among the Gentiles.
Go. Yep. And back in the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary for diaspora, there's a little bit more added. The name applied to the Jews living outside of Palestine and maintaining their religious faith.
Palestine, outside of our land, man. Go ahead.
And maintaining their religious faith among the Gentiles.
Mm-hmm. And they will be considered as what? Want to read that again?
Good. It says the name applied to the Jews living outside of Palestine and maintaining their religious faith among the Gentiles.
Okay, so actually, although they was like, isolated from the landmass, they were still keeping our customs, our way of life.
It says God had warned the Jews through Moses that dispersion among other nations would be their lot if they departed from the Mosaic law.
Mm-hmm.
These prophecies were largely fulfilled in the two captivities by Assyria and Babylonia, but there were other captivities which helped scatter the Israelites. By the time of the Mashiach, the diaspora must have been several times the population of Palestine. Paul invariably contacted the people in every city he visited. So let you know he only contacted those Israelites. That should give you a better understanding that those Gentiles were dispersed Israelites,
Right. And going back to how this is where they originated from, so-called black Greeks or whatever the case may be. That's why you got all these different fraternities and sororities in the world today. That's why you got the different gymnasiums and outlets where you exercise.
That's right.
It's all the same. It's just the same people coming back, right?
That's right.
As a matter of fact, I'll jump into that scripture that you had brought out. Ecclesiastes chapter 1 verse 9. It says, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun.
God, and we see that now. Going to the lesson. Okay, we see how our people basically have adopted to this American life, and it's the same thing now. Look at them. The Greeks, they're so-called alphas. All right, Q-dogs, sigmas. All right, AKAs. Kappas. And things of that nature. So our people was doing that back in the ancient time, man. So that's what it means by there's nothing new. There's no new thing under the sun, man. It's the same behavior. Why? Because it's the same people coming back in the process of reincarnation doing the same thing. They're fulfilling their lot. They was acting like that when we were in Greece, and they're acting like that now.
That's right. Matter of fact, we keep start a new tab, which is look up Black Greeks. They're gonna show some ancient images of so-called black people in Greece. Google. Yep.
Yeah. So, that's the reason, when you see Gentiles receiving the Spirit, all right, was understanding the doctrine, it's actually going to Israelites that lost their identity, all right, which we all became Gentiles, but at the same time frame, the Spirit of Yahweh Hashem Ashah brought us back, to our proper form of worship.
Good. Yep, and just scroll down, bro. Actually, you're going to see it down.
You see that with the break.
Good. Yeah, we just saw some images. It was showing like, our people pretty much, maintaining ancient Greece. There's some images. It's likely we can't find it right now. I mean, well, you can see it right here on these, ancient sculptures though, where they actually had like drawings of so-called black people in ancient Greece, just to show proof that they were there. And just going back to ancient Rome, if you watch Spartacus, they'll show you that it was Jakes amongst, the Romans, Yep. There you go.
And that's plain right there. You can't get around it, man. That's who Apostle Paul was preaching to.
The book of Acts, chapter 6, verse 1. And in those days, when the number of the disciples was multiplied, there arose a murmuring of the Grecians against the Hebrews, because their widows were neglected in the daily ministration.
So these Grecians would actually be, in the Greek term, Hellenistas, all right? Because these were actually Israelites who knew they were Israelites, but they still had those customs of the Greeks.
You want to continue on? That's pretty much.
Link up with it.
All right. Read
Yeah, this Acts 9:29. And he spake boldly in the name of the Lord Yahushua, and disputed against the Grecians, but they went about to slay him. You know, and just showing you like our people in the same mind frame today. Just like you see the brothers out there, you know, telling our people who they are according to the scriptures. You know, they want to slay them, man. If not, they want to scoff at them or or harm them by threatening words. So they was doing that back in, ancient Greece,
Yeah. And which is actually going into the prophecy of let me see, is it Deuteronomy 32:21? Because like the wicked Pharisees and the Sadducees, they didn't want that word to be given. Well, actually, the wicked Jews, they did not want that word to be They didn't want the word to be prophesied. You know what I'm saying, to basically the Israelite foreigners. And to prove that point, if you get Elder, that foolish nation.
Deuteronomy 32:21.
Yeah, Deuteronomy 32:21. You know, that's how the Most High, through the Spirit, had provoked our people, man, by having the word preached to the Israelite foreigners.
He said, they have moved me to jealousy with that which is not the Most High. They have provoked me to anger with their vanities. And I will move them to jealousy with those which are not a people.
Those that are not a people. And these was actually Israelite foreigners, man. All right. And they weren't considered as a people. Why? Because they wasn't worshiping Yahweh Shema in truth and understanding. Go ahead.
I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation.
Yeah, I will provoke them to anger with a foolish nation. And that foolish nation was actually the Israelite foreigners, man.
Back in Acts chapter 9, verse 29, and he spake boldly in the name of the Lord Yahushua and disputed against the Grecians, but they went about to slay him. And we get a second Maccabees chapter 6, starting at verse 1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of the Most High.
Right, and that's really the first wave of our people becoming in that Greek state of mindset, man. Hence Antiochus. Now, if you go to Elder, First Maccabees 1:42? All right.
Let me jump back. It's chapter 12.
Okay. It's the same thing, man. It's on repeat. All right. You know, it's the same spirits, but just in different bodies. But it's the same mindset.
And that's why we all say through the spirit, like these ancient kingdoms, they all reincarnated back. You know what I'm saying? And during those ancient kingdoms, those same people back here again today, man. That's still not the same role they were doing in previous lives. All right, this First Maccabees 1:42.
Sorry, 41.
Okay, 41. Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
Meaning that you leave your way of life, you start worshiping Yahweh Shema and start worshiping him as a Greek. I mean, it's like you start worshiping these Greek gods, believing Jesus and Jupiter and all that bullshit.
And that was just really another thing in starting a new world order, you know. All these different kingdoms you read, they all want to do a new world order.
Right.
And everyone should leave his laws, so all the heathen agree according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion.
Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion. So they stopped worshiping Yahweh Shema. Go ahead.
And sacrifice unto idols and profane the Sabbath.
Right, and that's how they became in that. That's the beginning of them becoming in that Gentile state of mindset. Because what they did was, when they had kids, they started teaching their kids the traditions of the Greeks. And their kids started doing the same thing, and their kids started doing the same thing. So us worshiping Yahweh B'Shem Al-Shai the way we supposed to have been worshiping had been lost in tradition. And it's the same thing of today,
Look at that, man. That's something. It says, yea, many also the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrifice unto idols and profane the Sabbath. For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they shall follow the strange laws of the land.
Right. And the reason why they were strange laws because they weren't the laws of Yahweh Shem Al-Shah.
Right.
And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings.
And now that's what we supposed to be doing. Okay? All right?
In the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbaths and festival days.
That's right.
And pollute the sanctuary and holy people.
Right.
How they polluted us, man. They polluted our minds. That's why we start, here you go, right here. Set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts.
Yep, and it's the pollution of the sanctuary and also the holy people because your acts is making you filthy.
Right.
And show you that these other nations, they know about us,
Yeah.
Like, for them to make, so like today, they'll make pork, like the cheapest meat in the grocery store because they know how people are going to run to it. Because our people, like the poorest people, in this country, So they try to make situations like that so our people go ahead and run and buy abominable foods, man. It says that they should also leave their children uncircumcised and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation.
That's right. And so basically, our people lost, we actually lost our way of life through the enactment of traditions, all right? Because the concept was actually going back into, like I said before, you teaching your kids not to be circumcised. You teach your kids to worship in a manner as a Greek. And though their kids are passing that on to their kids, so on and so forth.
It says in Jeremiah 17:4, and thou even thyself should discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee.
That's what it is right here in verse 49. It says, to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And that's what you see. You got an entire nation that are completely godless.
That's right.
With no power, with no hope, And the scripture goes into how they had that zeal of the Heavenly Father, not according to knowledge. And that complete ignorance has removed them just so far away from the Heavenly Father that they have no power. They have no God.
And that's why in Acts it was referring to Yahweh Shem Al-Shah as what? The unknown power.
Right.
And that's why Apostle Paul had to declare who Yahweh was to them as well as Yahweh Shah.
And you look up like these these so-called black Greeks and how they be pledging, they got videos on YouTube, they be doing some real homosexual acts, you know what I'm saying? Just to try to make it into the group, It shows you that homosexual vibe goes back to the ancient Greece. Our people doing the same stuff, man.
Getting hazed.
Yeah.
How many followers of Yahushua did Yahushua haze? To follow him to get or to get up into his thing and get inside his so-called clique or his organization.
That's right.
Now, they were chosen since the foundation of the earth.
That's right.
And there was no man that could pluck them out of the Heavenly Father's hand. The Heavenly Father didn't haze them.
That's right.
That's right. So just adding on to the wickedness of those Greek customs, so to speak.
Right.
That's
right. You're right.
You gonna read it?
Yeah, I got it. This 1 Corinthians 12. 1. Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, I would not have you ignorant. You know that you were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols, even as you were led.
Right. And so look at us now. Basically, we came out of that Gentile state because of, our spirit was purified by Yahweh Shem Al-Shah.
Yep.
The Holy Spirit. But we always once Gentiles, man.
Right.
Yeah,
that's not the green light to becoming a spiritual Israelite.
Right.
That's not what that goes into.
No. In order to be a spiritual Israelite, you have to be linked in from a physical heritage. All right. Your forefathers has to be one of the 12 tribes.
Right.
In order to be a spiritual Israelite. So from that standpoint, it starts from a physical standpoint anyway.
That's right. So we'll jump to verse 1 and get the word brethren in the Greek.
Strong's G80, Adelphos. Adelphos.
We got Adelphos. It says a brother, whether born of the same two parents or only of the same father or mother, having the same national ancestor, progenitor, right? Belonging to the same people or countryman.
Israelites.
Yep. Any fellow or man, a fellow believer united to another by the bond of affection, an associate in employment or office, brethren in Yahushua, his brothers by blood, all men, apostles, Christians as those who are exalted to the same heavenly place.
Right, and those Christians are actually will be what's the Hebrew, not the Hebrew anointed Mashiach. But to prove that, brethren, hey, go to Romans. Okay, Spirit.
You want Romans?
Yeah, I think 9 started 3. Okay.
Yeah, the Holy Scriptures are for the Israelites, all right? From the beginning of the book all the way to the end of the book, man. All right, those Gentiles receiving salvation, these are actually Israelites, man.
All right. The disciples were called what? Christians first.
That's right. Yes, there you go.
And Lord didn't have no heathen nations, no Edomites, none following him.
That's right. That's right.
All right, this is Romans 9:3. If I could wish that myself were accursed from Yahushua for my brethren, my kinsmen, according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertained the adoption, and the glory, and the covenants, and the giving of the law, and the service of Yahweh, and the promise.
Right, and this was actually given to them via Moses, man. And so, because a lot of people say the law of Moses is not the law of Moses. All right, the law came from Yahweh. All right, but the point is, those were Israelites. Apostle Paul's brethren were actually Israelites according to the flesh. All right.
Hey, bro, yeah. So we say in the promises right there at D, Christians as those who are exalted to the same heavenly place. You know what I'm saying? You know that the kingdom is going to be on earth. You know?
That's right. That's right.
It's only going to be for the Israelites because they receive the promises. It said verse 5. That's what I'm saying, bro. No. It said, who are the fathers and of whom as concerning flesh, Yahushua came, who is over all, the Most High blessed forever among.
Right, and there's a key point. Who are the fathers, and of whom, as concerning the flesh, Mashiach came. Well, who was his tribe? His tribe, he came from what? Judah. Hebrews 7:14, man.
Not as though the word of Most High would take none effect, for they are not all Israel, which are of Israel.
That's right.
That's a clear example of these so-called black Greeks, man. Like you tell them today that they Israelites, they'll look at you crazy.
Right. Because these Greeks, these so-called Greeks now, they believe in progress in this American society, man. They want the American dream. And what they do is they become part of these organizations in order to move up that corporate ladder, man.
Yeah. Different boule societies. Because a lot of these people who join these organizations end up being your so-called doctors and your lawyers and your congressmen, your highly esteemed individuals in the community, just based upon what's the word I'm looking for? That connection. That connection.
Yeah.
When you go to these so-called HBCU schools, like them presidents and stuff, or the schools, they all go back to this shit right here. They all pledge to this Greek philosophy.
That's right.
Just Masonic demons, man.
That's it.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's nothing new under the sun, man. It's the same people coming back doing the same exact thing, doing when we were like the brother said, doing the ancient world,
right? And you can only speculate with this. This is either a book of witchcraft, or is the Holy Scriptures being mocked?
How they dress look like Egyptian attire.
Right. Yeah, it's the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Right? Still an epic failure.
Dead reading the Book of the Dead.
Man, they be into it too.
Yeah. Kind, bro.
God,
kind, man.
I guess I jumped to Romans chapter 10. Start at verse 9. It says, let's see. Yeah, start at verse 9.
I'll read it.
Okay.
And Romans 10:9, that if thou shalt confess with thy mouth that the Lord Yahushua, and shalt believe in thine heart that the Most High have raised him from the dead, thou shalt be saved.
Yeah, it's not confessing your Lord and Savior Jesus the Christ, and then bam, You're a good grace. Go ahead.
Verse 10. For with the heart man believeth unto righteousness, and with the mouth confession is made unto salvation.
Right. But the scripture say faith without works is dead.
That's right.
And so professing it with your mouth and believing it, that's a form of faith.
That's right.
But what are your actions and what are your works actually protrude?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not according to this to the grace of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Yeah, at this time frame, their God is Esau, man.
Right.
Because all these Greeks want to be just like Esau at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But they disguise it in black culture and things of that nature. But black culture, the pinnacle is achieving American dream.
Right. And they stick hold to their brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? They do have a bond.
Mm-hmm.
You know, their brotherhood, their sisterhood, their organization. They do have a bond, but it's not on that right hand side.
That's right.
You know, that true bond are those disciples and followers of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
That's right.
You know, because the scriptures itself even say that the house shall they know his disciples, and that's concerning that love that they have one towards another.
Right. That's right.
You know,
Yahushua tell his mother,
behold,
that is my father, my brother or whatever, my sister doing the will of Yahweh Yahushua, pretty much. You know.
For the scripture said, whosoever believe on him shall not be ashamed. For there is no difference between the Jew and the Greek.
Yeah, these are what these so-called Christians love to bring up. This scripture, and there's one also in Galatians saying it's pretty much the same thing. You know, but now we have, hopefully through the Spirit, you have a better understanding that those Greeks are just like Israelite foreigners, man. And they were just lost in those customs of the Greek Empire. There's no more different today that these same people are lost in the concept of American culture.
That's right.
Or where they scattered to. They might be lost in Jamaican culture. You know, they might think they Ecuadorians. You know, it's no different than today, man. Our people just upholding the customs that they gave them.
Hey, can I get a precept? And I just read it. And this is Habakkuk 1:5. Behold, ye among the heathen, and regard and wonder marvelously, for I will work a work in your days, which ye will not believe, though it be told you. You know, and basically, this doctrine right here, you know, that the Israelites were going to be scattered and become in those Gentile states of mind. All right, and so when the apostles, when they were preaching the word, and these Jews, they didn't want to accept these Gentiles, man. Although they were Israelites, okay, but at the same time frame, the Apostle Paul and Barnabas, and they caught hell. Peter caught hell, man, for teaching the word to these Gentile foreigners.
Right.
And look at it today's time frame. You know, through the Spirit of Hashem, it's the same thing. When the apostles received that revelation, you know that we're not Gentiles, and especially the confusion of faces. You know, although they're Gentiles, you know, but they were actually what Israelites such as we were, and basically they were adopted to these to the traditions wherever they came from.
Right.
You know, but a lot of our people don't believe that. You got Israelites that's supposed to be, heavy in the scriptures. They don't even believe in that. You know.
Right. I got that precept up in Galatians. Galatians chapter 27. Read the 28, 29. It says, For as many as of you as have been baptized into Hamashiach have put on Hamashiach. There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither bond nor free. There is neither male nor female. For ye all are one in Hamashiach Yahushua.
And that means, and that has to mean that all of you are Israelites. All right? Because Yahushua only died for the nation of Israel, beginning with the elect.
Yep. And if ye be Hamashiach, then are ye Abraham's seed.
That's the point.
And heirs according to the promise.
And you have to be Abraham's seed, which will make you an heir to the promise.
All right. Yep. You know, can they jump into that book of Romans, what we just read about the Apostle Paul?
That's right.
You know, he was going into those promises and those covenants.
Yep. And you look at the word heir. It said one who receives by lot and heir. In Messianic usage, one who receives as allotted possession by right of sonship.
Yeah. And who are the joint heirs of Yahushua?
Fellow Israelites.
And this, more for you, buddy. Yes,
No, that was it.
in 1 Corinthians 2:7. But we speak the wisdom of the Most High in a mystery, even a hidden wisdom which the Most High ordained before the world unto our glory.
Okay. And part of this hidden wisdom, part of this mystery is the Gentile foreigners, man.
Yeah, that's a real stumbling block.
Yeah,
right?
that's neat.
Yeah. Let's back up. In this Romans 16:25. Now to him there's a power to establish you according to my gospel and the preaching of Yahushua, according to the revelation of the mystery which was kept secret since the world began.
Well, that's it.
Yeah, I'm saying that's why these people can't really just take heed when we say that those Greeks were Israelites, man. But it's making itself more and more known nowadays because we at the last days, at the end of this so-called white man's rulership, and as it's being more revealed that it has to be these same people that was doing the same stuff back in ancient Rome, ancient Greece.
And when Yahushua said that when he comes back with the host of heaven, right, he says every eye shall see him. That further proves that those individuals are going to be back here upon planet Earth.
That's right. That's right.
And if you're in the ground, you're going to come up from the graves, man.
That's right. It happened before.
You know?
All right.
Okay, well, we can end
Huh? Yeah, this week. Okay, this Book of John 12:18. For this cause the people also met him, for that they heard that he had done this miracle. The Pharisees therefore said among themselves, perceive ye how ye prevail nothing? Behold, the world is gone after him. And there were certain Greeks among them that came up to worship and to feast.
Right, right. And that was my point. The Pharisees therefore said among themselves, perceive ye how ye prevail nothing. Behold, the world is gone after him. Why? Because basically they didn't want to lose, their spot. But at the same time, from the point is, why did these Gentiles come and worship? Because they were Israelites, man.
This back up. Like this is John 11:49. Matter of fact, I'll start at 48. And it says, 47. It says, then gathered the chief priests and the Pharisees a council and said, what do we? For this man doeth many miracles. If we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him.
Because of the miracles, that was due to these actions. All right. Hey, that was a belief. I mean, hey, that made you believe that the Most High was working with Yahushua.
And the Romans should come and take away both our place in nation.
And it's the same thing today's time with Nate and Johanna, so on and so forth. And even back, during like Apostle Paul time, hey, a lot of those Jews basically they didn't want to accept those Gentiles, man.
Verse 49. One of them named Caiaphas, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, ye know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, and that the whole nation perish not. And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that Yahushua should die for that nation.
That goes to show you that nigga knew.
Yep.
Like he knew, but he had basically his flesh ruled over him.
Okay.
And
not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together in one the children of the Most High that were scattered abroad.
And who was scattered abroad? These Gentiles, man, which were Israelites that lost their identity, man. Lost their traditions, lost their customs, their belief systems.
Yeah,
no, you can drop it.
Okay. Get Acts 15 and 18. I'll read it.
This book of Acts.
Yeah, Acts 15 and 18. Known unto the Most High are all his works from the beginning of the world. So wherever these individuals are, no matter how they look, and things of that nature, hey, the Most High knows, who are the Israelites as well as Yahushua, as well as the holy angels, man.
With that, man, I hope you all were edified. Like give all honor and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash.
that was to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all you sincere Hakim. Shalom.
Shalom.